I hope we're all doing amazing today. It's another market analysis, the daily market analysis, top-down analysis, everything all combined together. You know how we do it. And the major thing we actually have today that in regard of fundamental is the criminal allegation against the Jerome Powell, the Fed's chairman, which is raised by the Department of Justice in the United States. And that has been like the spotlight of the whole thing, of the whole day, in my personal opinion. Although Jerome Powell actually denied everything very boldly, and he said this is potentially an allegation launched against him by the administration, the current administration in the United States. Well, what we're talking about is Mr. Trump, all right, President Trump, excuse me for that. And it's been like a very rampant thing in the market. I mean, it's been very, very much serious, especially the debacle between Trump and the entire Fed's chairs. Okay, I mean, chairman. We're talking about last year when when Trump was having issue with the Fed chair, I think in Chicago or something like that. I'm talking about Lisa Cook. All right, that was very serious. I guess probably Lisa Cook actually won the whole court case, but now this is another one with Jerome Powell. I am not sure it is Trump's doing, but I mean, we are the whole thing is left for us to use our church mind and most mind to figure it out. All right. But I would say that this has a lot of smells that I genuinely don't like. Okay. Considering where dollar is right now and everything that is actually going on in the world, this has a little imprint of, whatever. Okay, I don't want to talk too much about it, but though Powell denied it, but the market is already reacting to it. As in, he actually reacted to it quite early today. We got this massive rejection candle on the 4 hour time frame on DXY. And that is also very important because we discussed this yesterday in our last session when I said two things will happen when the market opened today. As you can see, the market is retesting this particular resistance level, and potentially we're getting a very serious rejection that looks very similar to what we got here when the market was retesting that 98.7 region. All right, this particular region right here. All right, so that we got that very fast rejection, and exactly what we are getting right now on the dollar index at that 99.30 region. All right, I mean, what has happened in the past will happen again. Now, it is very important to note that, and I said this yesterday as well. Okay, this is where I draw the line for bearishness on the dollar. Okay, we've already gotten the three way we were looking for. The correction should be over now. And what I want to be seeing next is the further drop on the price of the dollar, in the price of the dollar, excuse me. All right, that is what I'm expecting, a further deterioration. All right, considering where we are right now on the technical perspective, you can see the bearish momentum is strong, is still very much there, right? It hasn't gone anywhere yet. However, with what we've seen the last couple of days, or let's just say in the last 2 weeks, since the market break out of this bearish channel, right? We've seen go, I mean, DXY actually make like multiple highs. We have first high here, this higher high, we have higher low here, and now we got a fresh higher high on Friday. Potentially the market might be using this particular region as the new higher low, which could lead to a further move to the upside. That is very possible. Okay, I don't want to say it, but it is there and it's very possible. However, until this particular high at 99.3 region is broken, we cannot be sure that there is a continuation of this quick bullish momentum that is forming up right here. But as time goes on, we're going to get more information moving forward. However, if the market still stay inside this particular box, okay, between 99.3 again and 98.7, I would say that there is still possibility for us to get further drop on the price of the dollar. But the only margin, or let's say where I still draw the line, is above 99.3. Anything above it means dollar could actually rally harder to the upside towards 100.40 region, which is where I do want to see dollar at anytime soon. But let's keep a close tab on it. I'm still forecasting a further drop in the price of the dollar. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, something like this, I would love to see it so I can easily buy pound, euro, and add to my Kiwi dollar because I really want to buy a lot of Kiwi dollar this time around. I don't know why. I just felt like something that is quite viable. So that is just where I'm at on the dollar index. So pay close attention to it. Watch out, be ready, be prepared for whatever is going to happen. Although right here you can see, we talked about this on Sunday as well, where we said dollar index is at a very strong overbought level. Okay, even on the daily time frame, it's leaning towards the very strong overbought level right here on the RSI. So that is also very important to note. And it's also retesting a very strong supply zone at that 99.30 region. Again, a very important thing to note. However, all these things can actually go to crap or can just fade away the moment we get a breakup over here. All right. So the price is going to tell us what to do next, but you have to react to, and that's exactly what we're going to be reacting to. Forecast aside, we have to look at the chart, look at the price. What it's telling us is that we have to play the game. Moving on. So we're gonna continue with gold. I know I'm currently buying gold, and on Friday, I mean on Sunday again, when we are analyzing gold, I said just watch out. Okay, I said do it, just watch out. And at that time, gold was actually around here. Okay, before we got that massive jump here that we got the rest of the day. I mean, gold was just ripping higher and higher crazily today. All right. Now I said if we get this particular 45.55 region broken, or let's say 45.50 region broken, then if you're planning for a buy, just map out this particular region right here and this previous high. Okay, we have a high here and then we have a major high here. So there's a possibility for the market retesting 45.55, okay, 55.0 for us to get a further rally on gold, or maybe it's going to just dip further to 4500 before we get the continuation of this buy momentum. However, that is where I'm also drawing what I'm drawing the line, okay, for gold continuation and the correction. Okay, I don't want to see a heavy deep correction on gold right now. Okay, I don't want to see it back to 44.05 or maybe 42.50. All right, this is gonna like break everything for me on the technical perspective. All right, I'm still gonna take some trades, but it's gonna just shatter a few things. So I don't want to see anything below 45.50 and 4500. All right, this particular high can get retested. Sure, I will look for buy. 45.55, sure, I will look for buy. But anything below that, I'm going to be very skeptical. All right, I'm going to think twice. I'm going to be cautious for me to approach gold moving forward. So watch out very closely and prepare yourself. Although gold is also very much at overbought, but if you take a look at the past, you see that gold really love to stay at the overbought region. So let's leave it there to enjoy itself. All right. Moving on to NZD dollar, I told you on Sunday as well that we could be looking for a potential rally on Kiwi dollar, and that is exactly what we got. All right, we got a more pump on Kiwi. As you can see, I took a buy right here on the on Kiwi dollar, and I took another buy around here on the Kiwi. And so far so good, it looks super cool. Okay, I would say you should look for buy opportunity on Kiwi. Okay, maybe a break above here, something like this. All right, a pullback. You might look for buy opportunity moving forward. Or peradventure we get probably another dip or another retest of this previous resistance. Now sufficiently using it as support. Yeah, you can look for buy right there. Okay, you can actually another part you can draw something like a channel, all right, a bearish channel that looks like this. All right, yeah, we have a bearish channel right there. So maybe a retest of this region that might even move further to retesting this particular what do you call it again, the lower bound of the bearish channel. Then you can look for your buy. That would be a very cheap one, but I'm not sure this is gonna happen. All right, if that actually happened, that was gonna spook me off. Okay, I might even close my trade. Like, current buy, I might have them closed and probably look for another buy. All right. But anyways, I would give this particular one a shot when the market comes back here to retest this key zone. All right, maybe I will look for buy from. But okay, this is where I'm gonna be drawing the line on Kiwi dollar as well. So look for buy opportunity around that 0.5700. Okay, if you get an entry there, fine. Now, if the market did not come back to 0.5700, then you can look for a break above this. As a matter of fact, let me delete a couple of things. Let me keep some things. Yeah, I think I want to see the chart very well right now. So what am I trying to say? What I'm saying is we have a high here, we have another high here. So if the market break out of this bearish channel, the upper bound of the bearish channel, retest it, that's a very good way to buy, right? If you don't take this or the market didn't play out like this, and then you get something like this, a break and retest of this particular resistance, now it's into support, you can look for buy opportunity there. So you can look for buy here, you can look for buy here, and the last one, which is the cheapest one, is looking for buy at the bottom here. So we have three regions. We have one, we have two, and then we have three. So you should be able to get one out of these. And why am I telling you all this, or why am I so interested in buying Kiwi dollar? Let's take it to the daily time frame. So NZD on the daily time frame looks like, first off, we have this something that we can call an inverted head and shoulder pattern. Okay, we have a shoulder here, we have a shoulder here, and I want to call this a big fat head, right? So that is just a way to look at it. Okay. Alternatively, we can say we have a divergence here on the daily time frame. We have a divergence, and then the market already made a break, pull back. Now you can see a target around that 0.611. Okay, so we have multiple pattern here, divergence and inverted head and shoulder pattern. So it might not be the textbook like, but the divergence is a very clear divergence, very, very smooth, okay, in my opinion. But the head and shoulder pattern might not be the textbook like kind of pattern, but I still like what I see. So these are the reason why I'm still looking for buy opportunity on NZD. So the target is right here and ultimately at the top here. So that is why I'm looking for buy. It's more like a reversal, a mean reversal kind of trade. Okay, because ultimately Kiwi dollar is bearish. All right, it's a very bearish currency. So we can just wait for a slight push to the upside before the continuation of that bearish momentum, maybe for the rest of the year. But the first half of the year, I'm expecting a slight recuperation, a slight correction before we get this continue. But don't forget again, dollar is also still very weak and doesn't look like something that will probably regain some strength yet. So let's just pay close attention to that. So in my personal opinion, I'm good to long NZD dollar. And also Euro dollar, as a matter of fact, I took a buy on Euro dollar today, very early today. And I think we should actually start on the daily time frame. Let's start on the daily. So first off, we've seen this flat bottom here on euro dollar. We've seen the break of this particular high, break retest. We've seen an actual move to the upside, which if we put your Fibonacci here, let's plot our Fibonacci, all right, on euro USD. Okay, I hope this is white. No, that's black. So let me change it to black. All right. So right here on with our Fibonacci, you can see that we have euro dollar correcting back to 50% Fibonacci, 0.5% or 50%, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that is a very good sign. And then today, the market is closing. The daily candle or the daily bar is closing with a bullish engulfing pattern. You can see, right? We have a bearish candle here, and we have a bullish candle that engulfed the previous bearish candle. So that is another good sign for correction or continuation of this particular bullish momentum that seems to get super corrected some time ago. All right, so that's that. So on the 4 hour time frame is where I took the trade. All right, it was a nice one until it stopped being very nice, right? So I took a buy around here. I think we have a demand zone somewhere around the bottom here. So we have a demand zone here and the market retested it. So the engulfing candle that I woke up to seeing, that bearish move that happened on the DXY kind of like pumped this one up, and I just took a buy. And right now the market seems to be pulling back gradually on euro dollar. Let me delete this Fibonacci again. There's so much drawing on the chart, and I don't always like that. So let me delete this. Okay, I think it's cool now. So moving on. I mean, we can still get a full retest of this particular the break of structure that we go here in the breakout structure that we go right here, we can still see a full retest of it before the market continues to the upside. And the alternate side is maybe the market is just going to dip lower, right? Dip more lower into this particular demand zone right here. Okay, everything we had here, the market can dip all the way further down before we now get it to pump up. But ultimately, I am bullish on euro dollar. And if the market decided to drop further, right? If the market decided to drop further to the downside, I will just hold this position and potentially add to it, and we'll see if I can hold on to it for the time to hit the target. Okay, but ultimately, I'm bullish on euro dollar. That's that. So let's take a look at maybe WTI. I took a buy on WTI also today, and it was a very sharp buy, I must say. Don't forget, in the last video we talked about WTI. I also explained the demand that is coming to WTI due to President Trump also threatening the likes of India, the likes of China with 500% tariff if they continue to purchase Russian oil. So I guess the only way you can make friends or get customer to purchase your product is by threatening them with, a 500% tariff. All right. After saying that both Russia and China, you have a good relationship with them, and then you're saying again, I mean, you can go ahead and just check the last few press conference or the major press conference that Donald Trump just had. He said he had a good relationship with both China and Russia. That's why, but he still think that they are trying to get Greenland. Okay, and then later in the press conference, he said, I mean, he said he's still gonna like he's still threatening 500% tariff if they continue. If these two countries, India and China. China, like I said, he has a very good relation with the president of China, Xi. He said he has a very good relationship, and he still threatening them with 500% tariff if they continue to patronize Russia. I mean, is that how to treat friends in this century? I'm just saying, like in this time and age, if that's how to do business and that's how to treat friends, people that I don't even want to keep repeating it myself because it sounds super crazy in my head. But moving on, okay. Don't forget what I said earlier. I said now the US have supply, okay, and by supply I mean the heavy oil in Venezuela, right? They have it now. The US big oil, Chevron, and the likes. They're already there, ready to. They're preparing to go there, ready to make use and refine as many of the Venezuela oil as possible, right? So the supply is now in excess, in my opinion. Now, what we need now is demand because if there is enough supply, without demand, what will happen? The price will just go down because it's become very cheap, right? So we need the demand to also start coming in. So, and what I also said in a previous video was that if US can come up with the supply, they will definitely and miraculously come up with the demand as well. And hence, Trump 500% tariff on India and what and China because he knows that if these two guys stop buying Russian oil, the only place they can get their request or let's say their demands met is from the United States. Which other country wants to stand against the United States, if not Russia or China, right? Is it Canada that they're gonna be like, yes, you can come to us, come and patronize us? They're never gonna do that. They'll just become the 52nd state in the United States, something like that. So I'm just kidding, but you get the trick. Okay, you get it. Just so I mean, the demand now is here. So potentially we can get WTI start pumping up, right? It can as well start pumping up. All right. So, and that's why I kind of like take this trade very early below here. Don't forget, I took a buy here. I closed it here because I said it's quite early. I think this one is still very early, but at the same time, I just can't get this particular daily divergence off my mind, right? And when I have these lingering thoughts all around me, I just want to like just follow it because I've been trading this thing for a very long time and I know how it goes. I know how it gets, especially my gut. So I just feel like, let me take a very short trade. If it runs out to be a losing trade, fine and well, I'll take that short loss. If it ends up being a very good one, then I mean that's a very good one. Even if the profit is not as big as I wanted to, but it's still a profit. So that's cool. So that's why I took a buy above here on WTI. So we'll likely see how it goes moving forward. So guys, that's why I'm going to be stopping today. I'll see you tomorrow when I'll be giving you another shot on the fundamentals, the technical. So don't forget to do well. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. At the same time, don't forget to prepare yourself for CPI data coming tomorrow. Right. See you. Have a good day. Bye.